need to get my laptop just one.
Sure. Hi guys. Hi guys, am I audible? Hello, hello, hi. 2 marks is gone. Sunita Matpatti. How come? Hi guys, am I audible? It was easy paper. Yeah, I could see that some of the questions at least that we discussed in the last yesterday's video, and some of the questions in the grammar video. Grammar, of course, the same questions only will be pattern will be followed. Audible. Okay. Paper was easy. Okay, good to hear that, Mansi. Hello, Chandrika Sagar. Hello. It was easy. Good to hear that, Aslam Khan. Hello, Manas. Good. Writing everything, that is most important. Okay, regardless of whether your paper is easy or not, write everything. Okay, because who knows, right? There is always that small luck factor, no? So, write everything. Yeah, we'll start. Okay. So, yeah, MCQs, guys, answer with me. First question, I think we discussed this, right, yesterday. Yeah, first question. Yeah. In Romeo and Juliet, Dash is described as gentle, loving, and black-browed. Which option is that? First question is, guys, answer with me. First question is, first B is correct. 1B is correct. Second question, in 2 Dear, Dash was the initial punishment given to the criminal. Second question, guys. Second question, in 2 Dear, Dash was the initial punishment given to the criminal. Very easy question as a direct, it's the most important part of the lesson also. Yeah, death sentence, option C is correct. Second question, option C, death sentence is correct. Third question, according to the speaker in On Children, life does not tarry with Dash. Third question, guys. Third question, according to the speaker in On Children, life does not tarry with Dash. Yeah, we will do all that. 3 is D, correct. 3D, okay. According to the speaker in On Children, life does not tarry with yesterday is correct. 3 is yesterday. Not life imprisonment, Sunita, it is death sentence, okay. Death sentence was the first punishment given. That is the most important part of the story, 2 Dear. Death sentence was given, it was very expensive. That is why it was changed to life imprisonment. Okay, the next question. The fourth question, match the following. I think this match the following came for the Deeksha students in one of their preparatory exams. Yeah, the same question as it is came in one of the preparatory exams for Deeksha students. Okay. Yeah, match the items in column A with column B with reference to the play A Sunny Morning and choose the correct option. Fourth question, wild boar's head is in Don Gonzalo's study. Tiger skin, Donna Laura's boudoir. Handkerchief is shoe brush. So A3, B1, C2. A3, B1, C2. We have option B. Is it correct? Option B is correct. Okay, option B is correct. Fifth question. In the gardener, Dash bedecked himself with gold, built a mansion and invited scholars to his house. In the gardener, Dash bedecked himself with gold, built a mansion and invited scholars to his house. Fifth question, guys. Fifth question. Fifth question is C. Yeah, Basavaya. Basavaya is correct. Option C, Basavaya is correct. Sixth question. Fifth question, option C, Basavaya is correct. Okay. Sixth question. In the interview, Borges does not make the statement about Borges does not make this statement about books. So one of the four statement is wrong. Okay, the other three are correct. So Borges made a statement. The three options Borges has told. One option he has not told. Which is that? Sixth question. Sixth question is again C. Yes. 6C. Modern developments would replace books with more dynamic things. Borges has not said that. Okay, Borges has said the exact opposite of that. So 6C is correct. Seventh question. The life of Dash is becoming more hazardous every day in Brazil according to George Mikes. Seventh question. The life of Dash is becoming more hazardous every day in Brazil. The life of Dash is becoming more hazardous every day. No, seventh question, guys. Seventh question. The life of Dash is becoming more hazardous every day. Option A is correct, pedestrians. The life of pedestrians is becoming more hazardous every day in Brazil. Eighth question. In the story, The Voter, Dash was the leader of the Progressive Organization Party. Eighth question. Eighth question. Dash was the leader of the Progressive Organization Party. POP. POP leader, guys, not PAP. Option B, Maduka is correct, yes. Option B is correct. Maduka is the leader of POP. PAP's leader is Marcus Ebe. Okay, POP's leader is Maduka. Yeah, moving on. Ninth question. The secondary school teacher mentioned in the essay Where There Is a Wheel. Secondary school teacher. The secondary school teacher mentioned in the essay Where There Is a Wheel is Fatima. Yes, Fatima is correct. 9D, Fatima is correct. 9D is correct. 10th question. According to the poem Water, Dash is a witness to the centuries of social injustice. According to the poem Water, Dash is a witness to the centuries of social injustice. 10th question. 10th question, guys. 10th question, water is correct. Option C. 10th question is also C. 10C is correct, okay? Water is witness to centuries of social justice. Moving on. So the pattern is the same, no? Whatever we discussed, 3 marker, 2 marker, 5 marker, okay? All of that game, right? Pattern, there is no change, I hope. Yeah. Chipko, okay. The passive form of the verbs. Chipko movement took place in the Garhwal Himalaya. First answer, it. Chipko movement took place. So it's in the past. So it was supported is correct. It was supported is correct. By the peasant movement, a large-scale deforestation. Large-scale deforestation was supported is done. Large-scale deforestation. A large-scale deforestation. Second question. Was opposed is correct. Was opposed by them. Many songs were composed because songs, plural. Many songs were composed. So this is your answer. Was supported, was opposed, were composed. Okay. Moving on, 12th question. 12th question. Fill in the blanks by choosing the appropriate expressions given in the brackets. Cycling has, among the three, cycling has dash Pudukkottai. Swept across is correct. Cycling has swept across Pudukkottai. It was the dash of Sheila Rani Chunkat. It was the brainchild is correct. Yeah, check, guys. Cycling has swept across Pudukkottai. It was the brainchild of Sheila Rani Chungat, who was the former district collector. Check. Moving on. Yeah, 13th, match the nouns to the pronouns. Oliver Goldsmith was, this is again a direct question from the question bank, okay? If you solve the question bank, you'll know this question is there in the question bank if I'm right. Oliver Goldsmith was sometimes called Dr. Goldsmith because he here is Dr. Goldsmith. So A3. He had studied medicine. One day a poor woman came to his would be Dr. Goldsmith's. 6. His house and she asked him. She here would be poor woman. If he would come to see her husband, who is the poor woman's husband? Was sick and would not eat any food. Dr. Goldsmith gave her a small box. Which would be the small box? So the answer would be A3, B4, C2, D1, E4. Yeah, A3, B6, C2, D1, E4. Yeah. D1, yeah, D1, E4. So check. Okay, this is the correct sequence. Yeah, E4. The correct order is A3, B6, C2, D1, E4. Okay, moving on. Moving on to part B. So we finished part A, part B. Okay, answer any 3 of the following questions in 1 or 2 sentences, words, phrases. 14th question. Name any 2 images that Romeo uses to describe Juliet's beauty in Romeo and Juliet. Okay, answers are already written for these. So, rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear and snowy dove. Okay, snowy dove trooping with crows. These are the any two images you have to write. So, here are the answer. Yeah, rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear, snowy dove trooping with crows. Name any 2 images. These are the 2 main images. Okay, moving on. 15th question. According to the prophet in On Children, who bends the bow and why? Okay, who bends the bow? The archer. The archer is God. Okay, the archer, God bends the bow so the arrow can go swift and far. Okay, the archer, God bends the bow so that the arrow can go swift and far. Torches, that is also fine, Neeraj. You can write that also. She teaches the torches to burn bright is also fine. You can write that. Yeah, linkers also will discuss. Moving on. According to Vandana Shiva, what had logging led to in the Himalayan region? Logging led to landslide and floods, scarcity of water, fodder and fuel. Okay, direct answer only. You have it in the textbook only. Logging led to landslides and floods. It led to a scarcity of water, fodder and fuel. 17th question. Yeah, linkers also discuss Martivi. Creators Paju. 17th question. Which is the mighty movement mentioned in the poem Water? Where did it happen? So the Mahat struggle that happened in the Chadar tank is the mighty movement. Okay, which is a mighty movement mentioned in the poem. Where did it happen? So Mahat struggle which happened in the Chadar tank. Yeah, that is fine. You have to write any of the 2. Snowy dove trooping across dark roads is also fine. Okay. Yeah, you can write God or archer. Either is fine. Sujay Nayak. Which is a mighty movement? So the Mahat struggle in the Chadar tank is the mighty movement. Answer any 4 of the following. So 60-word answers. Okay, only the points are given. You have to elaborate it. Okay, the important points. Write a brief note on Vandana Shiva's Navdanya farm. So Vandana Shiva's Navdanya farm, it was started in 1994. Where was it started? In Doon Valley. Okay, why was it started? To conserve and grow 630 varieties of rice, 150 varieties of wheat. Okay, to practice and promote biodiversity intensive form of farming that produces more food and nutrition per acre. Any of the 3 of these 4 points you should be writing. Okay, where was it started? It started in 1994 in Doon Valley. Okay, and they conserved and they grew almost 630 varieties of rice, 150 varieties of wheat, and to practice and promote biodiversity intensive form of farming. That is landslide and flood is for the 2 mark. Yeah, for the 2 marker. Water is not the mighty movement. Mahat struggle is the mighty movement. The Mahat struggle that happened in the Chadar tank. Moving on. 19th question. What circumstances, according to Don Gonzalo, made his cousin run away from Valencia in a sunny morning? So that is a direct answer only. As the gallant horseman was waiting one night outside the Silver Maiden's house, the merchant came in and insulted him. From there arose a duel. What is a duel? A fight. Okay. Duel is a fight. From there arose a duel. The merchant was very influential. So the cousin is the lover himself, Don Gonzalo. So the cousin this circumstances led to the cousin fleeing from Valencia. Mahat struggle is correct, Muhammad Yusuf. Yeah. So this is your answer for the 19th question. Okay. 20th question. How does a poet portray that his love is different from that of others in When You Are Old? So his love is different in When You Are Old in the poem. Shows that his love is unique because unlike others who loved the woman's beauty or charm, he loved her soul and the sorrows of her changing face. We discussed this yesterday also. The ones who were in the live session know. This part we discussed, most important part also in this poem. Okay, he loved her for her pilgrim soul, for her sorrows of her changing face. The others loved her for her physical beauty, okay, for her physical charm. Yeah, his love is deep and spiritual, not based on physical appearance, making it pure and everlasting. You can write that in your own words, okay. 21st question. Write a note on the life of the foot in the shoe as described in To the Foot from Its Child. So the foot realizes that it cannot achieve its ambition. So what does the foot dream to be? It dreams to be a butterfly or an apple. Okay, it is defeated later. So the foot realizes that it cannot achieve its ambition. It is defeated and condemned or forced inside a shoe. It grows in the darkness of the shoe, not knowing the outside world, feeling out life like a blind man. So this is an important point, okay. Make sure you've written this. 22nd question. Heaven lies all over. Illustrate this with reference to the poem Heaven If You Are Not Here on Earth. Yeah, good to hear that, Tarun. Good to hear that, Tarun Reddy. Good to hear that. Most of the questions we discussed came, yeah, good to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, so heaven lies all over. Poet believes that heaven lies in nature, okay, and the roaring streams, rolling surf at the edge of waves, tender sunshine on verdant gardens, and the gentle sun. These all are testament to the fact that heaven lies on earth, okay. Whatever images that the poet gives in the second stanza, that should be written as it is, okay. So these are testament to the fact that heaven lies nowhere else but on earth. Karam Chedu Suvartamma, no, the mighty movement is the Mahat struggle, PRTXCR7. It is, mighty movement is Mahat struggle of Chadar tank. Yeah, moving on. Yeah, why does George Mikes consider the Japanese as well-mannered people? Why does George Mikes consider Japanese as well-mannered people? George Mikes highlights how courtesy is a very integral part of Japanese culture. So two things you should write. One, you should write about their courtesy, okay? How courtesy has double function, courtesy and privacy, substitute privacy. Then you should also write about their culture of bowing, okay? So these things make Japanese people well-mannered according to George Mikes. So one about courtesy and the other about their bowing culture. So these things should be written. That is good, Suhana Harmain. You can elaborate, that is good. That is also fine, yeah. Moving on. The 4 markers, 3 markers all are discussed, right? Yeah, 4 markers. What were the arguments put forth by the criminal for not going out of the prison in 2 days? I think we discussed this question, okay. Same question only, I think it's rephrased. Okay, so what does the criminal say? One thing that he said, he had nowhere to go, okay. He had nowhere to go and people would turn their backs on him. Second, he had gotten out of the way of living. Okay, that is, he was very comfortable with his present lifestyle. Third, his character was damaged. His reputation was damaged because now the society would judge him, or the society would entertain him only as a murderer. So his character or reputation is damaged. So everything was provided in prison also. So he tells the king that he had been treated badly by the king and his council. So these are the points. Yeah, phone booth as example in Japan and Brazil is also fine. KICS 287. That is also correct. PRRTX, respecting one's privacy. You have to elaborate. I just told the main points. You have to elaborate on how they respect one another's privacy. Okay, how courtesy is substitute privacy. That's correct. Yeah, moving on. How does Donna Laura decorate her own funeral in the play A Sunny Morning? Explain. She waited news. This is also again direct only. Okay, it's given. She waited news for days, months, and a year passed by. So no letter came. She goes to the beach. She wrote her beloved's name in sand, and she sat on a rock. So as the water tide rose, the waves swept her away. This is the story that she tells Gonzalo. We discussed both yesterday, okay? Don Gonzalo, the fake story that Don Gonzalo narrates to Donna Laura, and the fake story that Donna Laura narrates to Don Gonzalo. Both we discussed yesterday, okay? Because that is the important part of this chapter. So I'm very happy that that question came, and I'm even more happy that you could write that. Yeah, moving on. How did Tamanna avenge himself with reference to the gardener? How did Tamanna avenge himself? Avenges taking revenge. So initially, as Basavaya encroached on his land, what does Tamanna do? He composes ballads. Tamanna tried to avenge himself by composing ballads. Ballads are poems, right? Folk poems. So these ballads had Basavaya as the main character, the villain, as the main character, speaking of his cruelty to Tamanna. So he used art and intellect to ruin Basavaya's reputation. You should just write that part in detail, okay? How his friends told him to go and either physically get the land back, to fight and get the land back, or to go to court and file a case. But Tamanna thought of a more creative way of destroying Basavaya, that is, destroy his reputation. And how did he destroy his reputation? By composing ballads. You have to explain that, okay? It is important to underline Sophie 4030 because I told you guys, no, if we discussed topper's answer sheet also, you would have noticed how the topper underlines in the answers, okay, the important part of the answers. Makes the answer look good, and evaluator's job is also a lot easier. If you wrote the exact answer, you will get full marks, Viraj. Yeah. Moving on. The function of books is irreplaceable. Substantiate this statement with reference to books will never disappear. So book is an extension of our imagination and memory. So the same way how telephone is an extension of our voice and telescope and microscope is the extension of sight. So he says books are a great memory of all centuries. If books disappear, surely history will disappear. The last sentence being very important, okay? If books disappear, surely history will disappear, which is why the function of books is irreplaceable. So why did the people of Umuofia feel that they had underrated the power of ballot paper? Okay. So the previous election, what happened? They did not bargain for anything. They simply cast their vote for Marcus Ebe. Okay. And what did they notice? Marcus Ebe became a very rich man. So Marcus Ebe became a very rich man. Umuofia was not benefited. Okay, there was no electricity, there was no water for Umuofia, but Marcus Ebe was getting rich. So they realized that Marcus Ebe is getting benefited because of their votes. So they decided to ask their share of that. Okay, so they fully knew Marcus Ebe coming to power would not benefit the village. They also saw his financial growth and believed they were entitled to a small share of it. Meaning, if Marcus Ebe is becoming rich because of us, so let us ask for more money. So this is why they felt that they had underrated the power of ballot paper, because they saw Marcus Ebe getting wealthier and wealthier and they did not get anything. So next election, they decided to bargain for more. Describe the role of Arivoli Iyakam in liberating and empowering rural women of Pudukkottai. So Arivoli was the city's vigorous literacy drive. It was conducted, so Arivoli conducted cycle training camps for rural women, conducted an exhibition in which 70,000 women participated with cycles. There are some more points. I think these are the most important points. Yeah, 30. So reading comprehension, all the questions will not be I won't be discussing because you know these are direct only. Some of the questions I know you guys have doubt, so we'll discuss that. Yeah, where was V.S. Naipaul born? Direct question. When did V.S. Naipaul receive Nobel Prize? Again, it's there in third question also, it's there. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh is there. Yeah. H. You guys have doubt with H. The noun form of the word accomplished is dash, fill in the blanks. The noun form of the word accomplished is accomplished. Accomplished is not the noun form. What is the noun form of accomplish? Accomplishment is the noun form. Okay, accomplishment is the noun form. This is the noun form. Yes, correct, Sanjeevani. Sagar Bhandari, correct. HD, J, double D, H, D, H, R, H, that is correct, yes. Accomplishment is correct, yes. Add a prefix to the word educated. Very easy. Educated, uneducated. Educated, uneducated. Uneducated is correct. That is the answer. Uneducated is correct. Sanjana, uneducated is correct. Accomplishment is the correct answer. It's not appreciated. Accomplishment is the correct answer. Yes. Moving on. The or question, that is a poem, right? Poem also we'll see. Yeah, what did the traveler see? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Okay, seventh, until seventh, all are direct questions only. Eighth question, which word in the poem means very old? H. Which word in the poem means very old? Which word in the poem means very old? Accomplishment is correct. Not completed. There's no answer not completed. No, you won't lose marks for underlining, Sophie. It's just that if you underline, it makes your answer look better. It makes evaluation process a lot easier. Yeah. Which word in the poem means very old? Antique is correct. We say antique piece, right? Antique piece means something that is very old. Antique cars, etc. Antique means very old. Complete the analogy. Land, sand, stone. Land, sand, stone, frown is correct. Yes. Stone, frown is correct. Yeah. Land, sand, stone, frown is correct. Accomplish is wrong infinity. It is accomplishment. Okay. Okay. Grammar questions. You guys wanted me to discuss this, right? 31st question. Okay. Listen up carefully. Some of you said that in some other videos they gave certain other answers. We'll discuss the answers in detail. Okay. Your doubts will be cleared here. We walked along a long distance on foot is correct. Okay. Some of you would have written by foot. That is wrong. Okay. It is on foot. We walked a long distance on foot is correct. Okay. By foot, we do not say. We say by walk. I came by walk. Okay. Whereas the usage on foot is a phrase. Okay. I mean, you use that together. On foot. Okay, is correct. By is wrong. It is on foot. I came by walk, we say. Okay, on foot is correct. No, from is also wrong. Not through. It is on foot. From is wrong, Neeraj. It is on foot. By is not correct. You say, I came by walk. Understood. We walked on foot, we say. On foot is correct. You can Google it and check yourself, Shrikant. Okay, by walk and on foot. That is how you say. Yeah, next one. Next one. I'll just number the answer. I called my daughter in and shut the door of my home. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In the reverse order we have, hopefully. I called my daughter in and shut the door of my home is correct. From the foot is the name of the title, Neeraj. See, grammatically that is not correct. From the foot, as in the poet is trying to say that the foot is trying to talk. Okay, from the foot. When you're walking, you say on foot. From the foot is a title of the poem. Yes. This time let's see. Yeah. I called my daughter in and shut the door of my home is correct. Yeah. Next one. 31st or question. The flock of birds dash flying overhead. Subject verb agreement. The flock of birds. Flock. Flock is considered singular. Okay. Collective noun. The flock of birds is flying over my head. Is flying overhead is correct. Yes, correct. Correct, Shamita. Is flying is correct. I dash him at the mall last week. I dash him at the mall last week. I saw him at the mall last week is correct. Last week, time is already given. So, you know it's in the past. I saw him at the mall last week is correct. Yeah, next, linkers. Some of you had doubts with linkers, right? Okay, one fine day, a wealthy man drove out of his city. He saw a farmer's house on his way. And he was attracted to it. He wanted to buy it as it was looking great. But the farmer was not willing to sell his horse. However, the rich man pleaded with him and was ready to pay more. At last, the farmer was convinced and he agreed to sell his horse. So check the order. First, and comes, followed by as, next, but, after that, at last. Had seen will not come because we are given only one verb. No. I saw him at the mall last week is correct. There is only see here. So is it had seen? Okay, moving on. Okay, question tag. I do not know what to do. I do not know what to do. Do I is correct, okay? Because it is already a negative sentence. Not. I do not know what to do. Do I is correct, okay? I do not know what to do. Do I? Second, a policeman was clearing the traffic. So, you need the underlined part as the answer. What was the subject here would be a policeman, okay, not the, because it's given in the question as it is. What was a policeman clearing? So when you wrote this question, you should have made sure this is correct, okay? Some of you would have written what was the policeman clearing. Even that is wrong. The article should be correct, okay? What was a policeman clearing is correct. Rectify the errors. Error correction. Children likes sweets. It's children like sweets. Plural. So plural subject, plural verb. Children like sweets is correct. Okay, second one, a sun rises in the east. So, wrong article, right? A becomes the sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. Children like sweets is correct. Next is note making. The Phantom is a fictional history comic strip, was created by Lee Falk, an American. He lives in the fictional African country of Bangala, solving the problems of the tribal people. So the Phantom was created by Lee Falk. And yeah, he's also called Mr. Walker, the ghost who walks. You can write Mr. Walker. Third one, nationality of Lee Falk is American. Another character that he created was Mandrake. You can either number and write the answers, or you can, if you had time, I mean, it's better if you have drawn this and written the answers in the respective boxes. Yeah, Mr. Walker is enough. No, they will not cut your marks for not underlining. It's just that your answer will look better. Okay, reported speech. So many of you had a doubt. Answer is already given. Okay, check. Roof told Isenwa that he had given. Okay, I have becomes he had given. I will become he. He had given him 3 shillings. And then next is a question. So, and asked him what else he did expect. Okay, what else he did expect from him. What else he did expect. Why did? Because do verb and order also changes. Okay, what else he did expect from him. Then Ezenwa replied saying they wouldn't have asked for more if Marcus was a poor man. See, wouldn't will remain unchanged. Okay, because it's already in the past. When you're reporting, it remains unchanged. Okay. So saying that they wouldn't have asked for more if Marcus was a poor man. Why was a poor man? Is becomes was. If Marcus was a poor man. Then Roof replied that he would, will becomes would. He would give him 1 more shilling and told him not to expect more. Or you can write warned him also. Warned him not to expect more. No, see, expect will remain unchanged because do verb changes. Understood? That is why expect remains unchanged. Do that is the specialty of do verb. No, when there is a do verb in the sentence, the do verb changes. The main verb remains same. Okay. What else he expected will not come because do verb is already there. No. He expected. What else he did expect from him is correct. You can write he expected also if you want, but what else he did expect from him is correct only. Yeah. Moving on. Conversation. Again, very easy conversation. Dialogue writing. Yeah. Hi, hi Madhura, you dash. So complimenting. So based on the situation, Mayura is complimenting Madhura on the way she looks. Right, based on how she looks. So, hi Madhura, you look great. Then Madhura expressing gratitude. Thank you so much. Mayura, is today a special day for you? Yes. Based on this, I can write, yes, it is. Today is my birthday. So, you have your answer. And wrote her everywhere. No, it's... Yeah, 36 letter writing. Again, I'm not going to explain letter writing in detail. I hope you guys followed the format that we discussed yesterday. From address, okay, they did not tell you, but however, you should write a fictional from address only, okay? Preferably, it's preferable if you write 3x, 3y, okay? But a fictional address and a fictional name, preferably, okay? Yeah, and wanted. So subject you have application for the post of office assistant. Then these all you should include in the body of the letter as well, okay? And for reference, you should write this. This is the reference. Reference, okay? How many of you have written this accordingly? Sorry, this is the body of the letter. This is the to address. Okay, two address is given, reference and application for the post. Yeah. Yeah, it's my birthday. That is correct only. That is also, I mean, gender, it won't make a big difference. You can consider SNY as a female, male. That's up to you. But only the tense change should be correct when you're reporting. Okay, that is more important. So letter writing is done. Then speech writing question was also there. Okay, it's not here. Okay. So yeah, I hope all the answers are clear. I hope all of you wrote it correctly. Okay. So I hope the exams went well. Hope you will get out of out. Okay. If not, at least the marks that you wish to have in the board exam. So I hope you liked my all the inputs I gave you. Okay, I hope these inputs helped you. Okay, prepare for the next exam. Okay, yeah, thank you.